The galaxy had known peace for many cycles. Different planets, different species, all connected by a fragile alliance called the Galactic Council. For years, this council kept the fragile peace. No wars, no fights, just a promise that the galaxy's many worlds would respect each other. Among these species was Earth's Deathworlders, a tough and hardy group of humans who had survived the harshest conditions on Earth. Their skin was rough, their bodies strong, and their minds sharp. Yet too many alien species, the Deathworlders were a mystery, feared and misunderstood. They were seen as warriors, possibly dangerous barbarians who belonged only to Earth's wild. Deathworlds. But the truth was different. The Deathworlders wanted peace, just like everyone else, in the shining city of Lorien. On the planet Viridia, one of the Galactic Council's key worlds preparations were underway for the biggest peace summit in decades. Leaders from many species, including the Deathworlders, were expected to arrive. This summit was meant to heal old wounds, build new alliances, and promise a future without war. Commander Kale, the Deathworlder leader, stood on the balcony of their small embassy, looking at the glowing city beneath. The lights of Lorien stretched like stars on the planet's surface. Despite the beauty, a heavy silence filled Kale's heart. This meeting could change everything, for good or for bad. Beside him, Lyra, his second-in-command, spoke softly. "The others don't trust us. The rumors still spread that we bring war, that we are monsters." Kale shook his head. "They don't know us. We have survived the worst Earth could throw at us, and still we seek peace. We must show them who we really are." The Deathworlders had traveled far. Their ships, sleek and strong, had crossed many star systems to reach Viridia. But among the galaxy's great powers, distrust was a stronger force than any weapon. Meanwhile, in the Grand Council chamber, representatives gathered, tall, slender beings from Jalor, with glowing eyes. Armored warriors from Kryx, elegant diplomats from Yalara. Each species had its own fears and hopes. The council leader, a wise alien named Scylan, raised his voice. "This summit must succeed. Too long we have lived in fear of each other, but not all share our desire for peace." A murmur passed through. The Hall Silence eyes scanned the room. "There are forces that want to see this galaxy burn. We must be ready." Back at the Deathworlder embassy, a sharp alarm shattered the calm. Kale's eyes narrowed. "What is it?" A young soldier rushed in. "Commander, unknown ships approaching fast. No communication. Weapons powered." Kale's hand went to his sidearm. Prepare for defense. This was not supposed to happen now. Outside the skies darkened as strange warships appeared, moving quickly toward Viridia's orbit. Lyra's voice was tense. "Is this a test or an attack?" Kale did not answer. His mind raced. If these ships fired, the fragile peace would shatter instantly. The unknown ships launched a surprise strike. Explosions rocked Viridia's defenses. Council ships scrambled to respond, but the attackers were precise, cutting communications and disabling shields. In the midst of chaos, a powerful blast hit the council chamber itself. The building shook violently inside. The council members struggled to stay calm. Scylan's voice was firm. "Evacuate immediately. Find safety and call for help." Tout, the Deathworlders scrambled to defend the city and the summit. Kale's soldiers moved like shadows, skilled and deadly. They fought not just for themselves, but to protect what little hope remained as the battle raged. Kale's thoughts returned to the summit, to the promise of peace that now seemed so fragile. "Who benefits from this attack?" he asked Lyra. As they fought side by side, she shook her head. "It wasn't us. We came here for peace." "Then someone wants war," Kale said grimly, amid the explosions and smoke.
A
message crackled over the council's emergency frequency. "This is Vex," a cold, harsh voice said. "The Deathworlders are liars and murderers. This attack is only the beginning. Prepare for war." The voice was unfamiliar, but the message was clear. Someone wanted to turn the galaxy against the Deathworlders, and soon against each other. The city was burning, and the alliance was breaking. But in the darkest hour, Kale made a vow. They would uncover the truth, stop the hidden enemy, and fight for the peace they all wanted. Because sometimes the calm before chaos was the greatest test of all. The attack had left the city of Lawrence shaken, but the true danger was still hidden beneath the surface. Commander Kale and his team worked tirelessly, trying to find out who had sent the mysterious warships. The message from Vex was a threat. But who was Vex? And why did they want the Deathworlders blamed? Meanwhile, the Galactic Council's leaders met in secret. Suspicion was growing, and many voices called for punishment against the Deathworlders. Old fears stirred in the hearts of the galaxy's many species. Kale knew they had to act fast. We must find the real enemy, he told Lyra, or peace will be lost forever. The Deathworlders began their investigation. They sent scouts and spies to track Syndicate activity, the secret group believed to be behind the attack. Lyra and Jox, the best Deathworlder operatives, were chosen to lead a dangerous mission. Their task was to gather proof of the Syndicate's plans and stop them before they struck again. The galaxy was a vast and dangerous place. Their journey took them to the darkest corners, abandoned space stations, hidden asteroid fields, and forbidden planets where few dared to go. Every step was filled with danger. Syndicate spies watched their every move. Ambushes were common, yet Lyra and Jox pressed on, driven by hope and duty as they traveled. Lyra shared stories of their homeworld, Earth, the death world that had forged them strong. She told of the endless storms, toxic skies, and deadly creatures they had faced to survive. "People think we are monsters," she said quietly one night as they rested on their ship. "But we are survivors. We want peace. We want a future for all." Jox nodded. If only others could see the truth. Suddenly, their ship was attacked near an asteroid belt. Dark ships surrounded them, weapons ready to fire. "Ambush," Jock shouted. "Take cover!" A fierce space battle began. Lyra piloted with skill, weaving through deadly blasts. Jox fired back, protecting their ship. They barely escaped. But the attackers left a warning. The Syndicate was watching closely. The danger was greater than they imagined. Back on Viridia, rumors about the Deathworlders spread fast. Many people were scared and angry. Some believed the lies, others wanted justice. Kale faced difficult questions from the Council. How do we trust a people who bring war to our doorstep? One leader demanded. Kale answered calmly, "We came here for peace. We fight not to destroy, but to protect." The Council was divided. The future of the galaxy depended on whether they could trust the Deathworlders, or whether fear would tear them apart. Meanwhile, Lyra and Jox found secret Syndicate bases. They uncovered plans to sabotage the Galactic Council and start a full war. "This is worse than we thought," Lyra said grimly. "They want to destroy everything." Jox clenched his fists. "You must stop them no matter the cost." Mission was far from over. Every victory brought new challenges. And as the shadows grew longer, the Deathworlders prepared for the fight of their lives. Because sometimes, the truth was the hardest battle of all. The silence of space was broken only by the hum of the Deathworlders' ship as it glided through the asteroid belt near the Syndicate's secret base. Lyra and Jox sat at the controls, alert and ready for anything. This was the most dangerous part of their mission, getting close enough to gather proof, but avoiding the deadly traps laid by their enemies. "The Syndicate won't let us get away easy," Lyra said, eyes scanning the instruments. "Their base is hidden deep inside this belt, protected by mines and automated defenses." Jox nodded. "We must be careful. One wrong move and it's over." The ship slipped between floating rocks and debris, shadows hiding threats. A blip appeared on the scanner, sensors picking up movement ahead, Jox warned. Lyra's fingers flew over the controls. "Prepare for possible attack." Without warning, explosions rocked the ship. Mines hidden in the asteroid field detonated. The hull shook violently, shields holding but not for long. Jox shouted. Lyra twisted the ship sharply, dodging another blast. "We need to find the base fast." They landed the ship on a small, rocky moon, orbiting a gas giant. The Syndicate's base was underground, a fortress carved into the stone. No normal spacecraft could find it. Lyra and Jox suited up, weapons ready. Their mission was simple, but deadly. Infiltrate the base, find evidence of the Syndicate's plans, and escape. The tunnels inside were dark and cold. Strange machines hummed and flickered. The air was thick with tension. "We move quietly," Lyra whispered. "One alarm, and we're dead." As they crept through the corridors, voices echoed ahead. Syndicate guards patrolled in pairs, heavily armed. Jox pointed to a control room. "That's where they keep the data. Get in, download the files. And get out." Lyra nodded, waited for the right moment, and then struck, silently taking down the guards. Inside the control room, they found rows of computers and holographic screens. Lyra quickly connected a data spike to the main terminal. "Downloading now," she said. "Hurry up." Suddenly the door slammed shut behind them. Alarms blared. "They've locked us in," Jox growled. "Plan B," Lyra said, drawing her weapon. Outside footsteps and shouting approached. The Syndicate had realized they were inside. The two Deathworlders prepared for a fight. Knowing this could be their last stand, the battle was fierce. Laser blasts echoed in the metal corridors. Lyra's aim was steady, Jox's strength unmatched. But more enemies poured in. They were outnumbered. Just when it seemed all was lost, a sudden explosion shook the building. Another team of Deathworlders had arrived. Reinforcements sent by Kale. The Syndicate guards were pushed back. Lyra and Jox escaped with the data, but not without cost. Several soldiers were wounded, and their cover was blown. Back on their ship, Lyra studied the data. The Syndicate was planning something massive, an attack on Viridia itself, aiming to destroy the Galactic Council and start a war that would tear the galaxy apart. "We have to warn Kale," she said urgently. "There's no time to lose," Jox nodded grimly. "The Syndicate wants total destruction. We must stop them." The city of Viridia was tense. Syndicate's plans had been revealed, but the threat was far from over. Worse, the Syndicate had struck again, this time kidnapping several important Viridian leaders during the chaos. Commander Kale paced. In the embassy's war room, his face was hard with worry. "They want to break us," he said. "By taking hostages, they hope to force the Council to surrender." Lyra stepped forward, her eyes fierce. "We cannot let them win. We must rescue the leaders and fast." Kale nodded. "Prepare a team. Jox, you lead the rescue." The Deathworlders knew this mission would be dangerous. The Syndicate's hideout was in a ruined city on a nearby moon, a maze of broken buildings and traps. As the team landed on the moon, dust rose around their boots. The cold wind whispered through the ruins. Jack signaled, "Stay close. Stay quiet." The team moved carefully through the wreckage, shadows stretching long in the fading light. Every corner hid danger. Suddenly, an explosion rocked a nearby building. The Syndicate's guards had spotted them. "Fight!" Jox shouted. Blaster fire tore through the air. The Deathworlders returned fire. Using their training and skill to advance, Lyra dashed forward to reach the building where the hostages were kept. The door was locked with a high-tech security panel. "Give me a minute," she said, working fast. The guards regrouped and pushed harder. The team fought desperately to hold their ground. Inside, the hostages were scared but unharmed. Leaders looked at Lyra with hope. "Please save us," one whispered. Lyra smiled briefly. "We will." Outside, the team broke through the last line of guards. With a final push, they overpowered the Syndicate forces and escaped the ruins. Back on their ship, the hostages were safe. The Council leaders praised the Deathworlders' bravery, but Kale knew the battle was far from over. "The Syndicate is desperate," he said. "They will strike again." Lyra looked at the data from the control room mission. "Their next target is the Galactic Council's main base. We must prepare." Jox clenched his fists. "Then we fight. We protect this galaxy no matter what." The battle for the hostages had shown the Deathworlders' courage. But it had also shown the galaxy that the Syndicate was a threat everyone was faced together. The fight for peace was just beginning. The Syndicate's main base was hidden deep inside a dead star's asteroid field, a fortress surrounded by swirling debris and deadly traps. From the outside, it looked like just another cluster of space rocks, but inside, it was a hive of dark plans and dangerous weapons. Commander Kale gathered his best fighters, Deathworlders known for their courage and skill. Among them were Lyra and Jox, battle-tested and ready. Their mission? Destroy the Syndicate's base and stop their attack on the Galactic Council. The journey through the asteroid field was tense. Every rock could hide a mine or an enemy ship. Kale's ship moved carefully, scanning every shadow. Suddenly, lasers flared from the rocks ahead. "Ambush!" Kale shouted. "Return fire!" Team fought fiercely, dodging blasts and returning fire. Their ships darted through the rocks, fast and precise. After a fierce space battle, the Deathworlders broke through the defenses and landed on the base. Inside, the Syndicate's lair was cold and dark. Metal walls echoed with footsteps and distant alarms. Kale led the charge, weapons ready. They moved quietly but quickly, knowing the enemy could attack at any moment. Deep inside, they found the Syndicate's leader, a ruthless alien known only as Vex. His eyes burned with anger as he faced Kale. "You think you can stop me?" Vex sneered. "This galaxy will burn, and there is nothing you can do." Kale stepped forward, steady and calm. "We fight for peace. You fight for destruction. Your war ends here." The two clashed in a deadly duel, laser against laser, strength against skill. Round them, the battle raged. Deathworlders, fighting Syndicate guards in tight corridors. Lyra and Jox worked together, covering Kale and clearing the path. Explosions shook the base as charges set by the team began to detonate. "Time to blow this place," Jox shouted. They rushed toward the exit, but Vex was not done. He lunged at Kale, pushing him back with a powerful strike. Kale gritted his teeth, blocking the blow. "For peace," he said, and with a final strike, defeated Vex. The base shook violently as the charges exploded. The Deathworlders raced through collapsing tunnels, escaping just before the fortress was destroyed. Back in their ship, Kale looked at the stars. "This is only the beginning," he said. "The Syndicate will try again. But we showed them we are strong." Lyra nodded, "and we will be ready." The battle was won, but the war for peace was far from over. The galaxy watched, shocked and hopeful as the Deathworlders stood tall, the unlikely heroes who fought to save them all. The final threat was clear. The Syndicate, though weakened, was not finished. Their last attempt to destroy Viridia and the Galactic Council would decide the fate of the galaxy. Commander Kale stood before his team, calm but determined. "This is our last stand. If we fail, the galaxy falls into chaos." Lyra stepped forward. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for every species who wants peace." The Deathworlders, joined by Viridian soldiers and allies from the Council, prepared. For the biggest battle yet, dark ships filled the skies above Viridia, Syndicate forces ready to strike. Explosions lit the horizon as the battle began. Kale led the ground forces, fighting through enemy lines to protect the Council's base. Lyra and Jox took to the skies, piloting fighters with skill and courage. The fighting was fierce, intense, and brutal. Every second counted. Amid the chaos, Kale found himself face to face with a new Syndicate leader, more ruthless than Vex. "This ends now," Kale said, raising his weapon. The battle between them was fierce, pushing Kale to his limits. At the same time, Lyra and Jox destroyed the Syndicate's main fleet, turning the tide of battle slowly. The Syndicate forces began to retreat. The galaxy held its breath as the last ships fled into the darkness of space. Viridia was saved. In the aftermath, the Galactic Council met once again, this time with a new understanding. Kale spoke for the Deathworlders. "We are not monsters. We are survivors. We want peace, but we will fight for it." The Council nodded, slowly accepting the Deathworlders as true allies. The galaxy was fragile, but hope had been born. Peace was not guaranteed. It was a choice made every day, and as the stars shone brightly overhead, The Deathworlders stood ready, guardians of a new era. Because sometimes, the strongest heroes come from the harshest worlds.